Uncovering Mr. Right, his secrets, his confessions, his weaknesses, his beliefs, his strengths, goals, and objectives. Everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask. Over 100 men polled every month and published for you. Participate in our online community forum. Ask Miss Right, ask Mr. Right, and share your experiences, good or bad, pretty or ugly. It doesn't matter because you want to learn all you can how to find your soulmate, your lover, your best friend, the man you want to grow old with. So subscribe to our newsletter, Uncovering Mr. Right's publication will be published monthly with a yearly subscription fee. We will have hot topics from around the world, monthly poll results from over 100 men. There will be 2 monthly contests with prizes, interviews, confessions and secrets from real good men, and tips from the women who won their hearts. Uncovering Mr. Right. Get it now, so subscribe now. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Uncovering Mr. Right. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and today on my show I have Iffy Seabrook. She's from Bridgeport, Connecticut, and she's here today to talk about her Mr. Right. Thank you for coming on the show today, Iffy. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing fine, despite my little allergy today. But, the change of season, we're going to get it. You're in and out of people's homes. It's the Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
So how was your holiday?
My holiday was absolutely wonderful.
Great. Glad to hear that. We worked so hard, and we deserve this time off, right?
You are absolutely right.
That's right. All right, so we're here today to talk about your Mr. Right. He goes by the name of Curtis.
Yes.
You've been dating him for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about, how you guys met and everything.
We actually met off of the internet. I happened to be untagged, and he saw my profile, and he initiated contact, and we started talking back and forth from there, and then he finally worked up enough courage to ask me out on a date.
Wow, that is incredible. Now, are you guys from the same area?
No, he's actually from Brooklyn, New York.
Wow. Okay, so is it a long-distance relationship right now?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. And that's working out well. It's 3 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, it definitely is. We make it do what it do.
That's right. That's longer than most marriages.
These days, you're absolutely right.
That's right. So now, what's the greatest challenge right now having a long-distance relationship?
Well, the greatest challenge that we have is with our schedules with work and whatnot, and I'm very active in church. It's kind of difficult to work around all of that to manage to see each other on a consistent basis. But what we are sure to do is we're sure to communicate with one another every day through text messaging, sometimes through Facebook, inboxing one another, and I always make it a point that at least once a day we actually hear each other's voices, and we speak on the phone as well.
Wow, that's incredible. Technology has really stepped to the plate when it comes to, communicating with one another on a constant basis. So in other words, you guys can just send a little love note through the text message and then follow up later on sometime after, your day is clear and available.
Absolutely.
Is that what you do? All right. That
Absolutely.
sounds good. That's wonderful. And it's funny because a lot of us married couples don't really take advantage of text messages only to find out who's going to pick up the children.
Right, and you're right. And we've actually really leveraged technology to help keep the love going between the two of us because, my work schedule is demanding. And like I said, I'm very, very busy with church. I'm a huge part of the life of my adopted little sister and my niece. So, and then doing things for mom and for grandma, I'm constantly on the go and running. And it's the same for him. He's a total and complete workaholic. He has a son of his own, and he has a mother with some health challenges as well. So we're both always on the go. So if we don't take the time to really leverage the technology, there really wouldn't be much of a relationship.
That's right. Now, let me ask you this now. Both of you guys do have challenges on both sides of the table. Now, having a relationship like this, does that kind of help sometime, relieve you from, the stress of every day, that you guys don't have to constantly be down each other's throat? You just take the little time you have and enjoy it and appreciate it?
I think so because to me, if someone is always in your face, it's very easy for things to become dull and boring or just plain getting on your nerves because you're always right there in my face, hanging off my neck or however. So it's kind of the distance, although it is a challenge, it does help to kind of like keep that fondness there because, you're always looking forward to the next time that I can see you. Or
That's
trying
right.
to work something out in the schedule where maybe, we'll meet up at a halfway point so we can go out on a date and just enjoy each other's company or however.
Yeah, that is great. That sounds exciting too. I know you guys really look forward to those meetings. Do you guys try to take like half the day? Like, is it a weekend or whenever you can squeeze time in?
We pretty much try to keep it creative and squeeze time in whenever possible. For the most part, it's on weekends, and I just try to keep it creative or either spontaneous. Sometimes, if Friday comes and I don't have anything going on, I'll send him a text message, hey, what time you getting off of work, and we'll decide to meet up. He works in Manhattan. It doesn't take me very long to get to the Bronx, so we'll meet up in the Bronx and we'll go to dinner and a movie. Or sometimes I'll actually go and pick him up from work and we'll bum around New York down by Times Square or what have you. And sometimes
Wow.
he'll call me. He will have gotten off of work a little bit early, and he'll call me and talk to me as if he's still in New York. And then he'll ask me, are you dressed? What are you doing? And then I'll say, I'm just meandering around the house. And he'll tell me, get dressed. I'll be in front of your door in about 5 or 10 minutes, which is nice because
Yes.
it's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. A pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Now you guys are like the second couple we have pretty much recorded that have met online. That is really fascinating. That people are really taking advantage of the technology and going out there and meeting. Now, were there any precautions that were taken? When you first made the move.
Definitely. I was very skeptical about the whole social media thing because you hear of the horror stories and then you see the Lifetime movies about people who have tried and then it just totally went awry. But the funny thing of it is that in my church there are about 3 or 4 married couples that all met through the internet. So I decided to take a leap of faith and do it. But what I did was when we first were communicating with one another, I was very cautious about what I said, how much information I let out about me. And it wasn't until we actually had a phone conversation that I started to feel like I was really getting to know him a little bit better. And
Yes.
I actually, I took it a little bit further and I, took another leap of faith, said a prayer, accepted his invitation to the date, and I made sure that I told my mother, my grandmother, exactly where it was that I was going, about what time to expect me. I gave them his contact information, so just in case anything happened, they had the proper information to pursue to see what was going on.
That's right. That's right. Have the authorities out there, right?
Exactly.
Wow. Wow, that is something. Because my best friend met his wife online. I think it was Harmony,
Oh,
and
okay.
she was from Chicago, and he was in Baltimore at the time. And I think they were meeting halfway somewhere. It was, and we met her. She fit right in, to our little circle. And it's been about 3-4 years now.
Nice.
They didn't take a long time to get married. I think it was her first marriage, his second.
Okay.
But he always wanted to be married.
Okay.
And I talked to him today, and everything's going swell. He said he just bought a new home last year and everything. Yeah. So you hear some really happy stories right now. Now, tell us a little bit about the love story part. Okay, once you started trusting things and you saw them for the first time, when did things started to click?
Things started to click for me on our third date. You know what? Actually, I take that back. Things started to click for me on our first date because normally when you do the whole dating thing, people put their best self forward, and they kind
Mm-hmm.
of like play this little game, and there's this whole big facade that's going on, and he did not do that. He was just himself. He is a major Mets fan, so when he came to pick me up for my first date, he had on Mets gear galore, which kind of threw me back a little bit, and I got in the car, and there was Mets stuff all over the place. But then when I sat back and I thought about it, I was like, okay, so this is really him. And
That's right.
he really tickled me because during the first date, I wasn't feeling so well, and he was extremely nervous. So we went to a diner not too far from my home, and I ordered I think I ordered like soup and French fries. And he didn't order anything at all, and I asked him why wasn't he eating, and he just told me he couldn't bear to the thought of trying to even get down even one spoonful of food just did not sit well with his stomach. And I asked him, well, what's wrong? Are you sick too? And he was just saying, no, I'm nervous. And I was like, nervous? And he was like, yes. He said, I'm so nervous. And I said, well,
Wow.
okay. I was like, well, calm down. I'm not going to bite. So then he said to me, he was like, honestly, I drank a whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol before I even stepped foot in my car. And I
Wow.
thought it's weird, but I thought that was the cutest thing ever, that someone was actually that nervous to meet with me. And
Wow.
ever since then, he was just always himself, never, ever playing any games, never putting up a facade, and I really appreciated that. And although most women probably wouldn't agree with this, the third date that we went on, he told me, he was honest with me, he was like, listen, I'm a hard worker. Unfortunately, I don't make a whole lot of money, but I am willing to work hard to get what I need or to what I want or whatever it is that I want. And he said to me, he was like, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to offer, but I do offer you my heart. And once he said that, I
Wow.
was a goner.
Wow. My man.
Yeah.
Romance. Yeah. Wow. He said the right thing.
He sure enough did. He just, after that, I was just hooked. So.
Wow. Yeah, 'cause you have a lot of guys that be perpetrating. They probably pull up with one of their friends' cars and
Right.
take you to a restaurant they can't afford, and pretty much the whole weekend is like a dream come true. And then you find out this guy has credit cards galore that he can't afford to pay, his school loan,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
hey, but that was great to hear that good news. I love to hear those type of love stories. Now you guys been dating for 3 years now. What about your friends? What did your friends say about this and your family? How did they feel about it?
Well, I have a cousin who I consider like we pretty much only really talk to each other about such things, and she was a little bit apprehensive at first, but as I, divulged certain things to her and whatnot and confided in her,